Well, it's time now for the day's business news. A day of travel chaos. Once again, flights in and out of France, as well as those flying overhead, are being affected by an all-day strike staged by air traffic controllers. Yuka Royer from our business desk is here with more.
Well, airing the walkout started at 6 a.m. this Friday and will last 24 hours. This after France's biggest air traffic controllers union called members out on strike over pay and working conditions. Now, earlier this week, France's Civil Aviation Authority urged airlines to cancel half their flights on Friday, saying around 1,000 flights would be affected. Air France is operating just 45% of short and medium-haul services and also cut 10% of long-haul connections. Ryanair, Europe's largest airline by passenger volume, says it's also cancelled 420 flights affecting 80,000 passengers, mainly those flying over France. In a statement, the airline voiced anger at the fact that passengers who are not even flying to and from France are disrupted, while French laws protect domestic flights. Its chief operating officer saying it's time that the EU step in and protect overflights so that European passengers are not repeatedly held to ransom by a tiny French air traffic controller union. Now, the strike in France is just the latest in a series of travel disruptions here in Europe caused by industrial action and post-pandemic staff shortages. The chief executive of Amsterdam's Schiphol airport stepped down from his position on Thursday to, quote, give Schiphol the space to make a new start. The continent's major aviation hub has been hit by huge queues and piles of unclaimed baggage over the summer holiday season as demand soared. Dick Benschop said he'd done his best, but the situation remains complicated. Meanwhile, shares in air cargo operator FedEx plunged more than 16% in after-hours trading on Wall Street after the company withdrew its financial forecast over a worsening economic situation due to a global demand slowdown. It said it will shut down some offices in an effort to cut costs. Asia markets, meanwhile, broadly declined this Friday following warnings from the IMF and the World Bank about a possible global recession looming on the horizon. Investors are also anxiously awaiting the next rate hike decision by the US Federal Reserve next week. Earlier in our programme, we asked analyst Rayhan Bison what's driving the markets right now.
The main tail here is actually the Fed. So the markets are certain that the Fed might go and raise the rates by 75 basis points, and 100 basis points of a rate hike is priced in by 25% at the moment. So having this probability so close to the meeting is not really helping the markets, is not definitely helping the euro. So this is why we see the dollar holding really strong against the euro. And also, as you mentioned, the energy crisis. The winter is literally coming, so it's a very, very big problem for Europe, and we'll have to wait and see. But this story is really not helping the euro.
Moving on to the tech sector now, authorities in Britain could slam the brakes on a mega merger in the gaming world. The UK's antitrust regulator is worried that Microsoft's proposed takeover of Activision Blizzard, a video game maker, could stifle competition in the industry, as Fraser Jackson explains.
A stumbling block for the world's largest software company. Microsoft's $69 billion takeover of video game giant Activision Blizzard is being investigated by a UK watchdog.
The CMA has referred the anticipated acquisition by Microsoft Corporation of Activision Blizzard Inc. for an in-depth investigation. The merger may be expected to result in a substantial lessening of competition within a market or markets in the United Kingdom.
Activision Blizzard is home to several household names such as Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot and World of Warcraft.
Are you ready? Is you ready? You say you ready? Ready?
But its most well-known franchise is the behemoth Call of Duty, which includes the free-to-play cross-platform game Warzone, one of the biggest games in the world. Microsoft's potential purchase of the game's developer Activision has raised concerns from PlayStation console maker Sony, who worry that Microsoft will limit access to several titles to their own console, the Xbox.
By giving Microsoft control of Activision games like Call of Duty, this deal would have major negative implications for gamers and the future of the gaming industry. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality gaming experience, and we appreciate the CMA's focus on protecting gamers.
Despite Microsoft rubbishing the claims, those same concerns were voiced by the UK's antitrust authority. Watchdogs from New Zealand, Brazil, the US and the EU are still examining the acquisition. If it were to go ahead, it would be the largest in the history of the tech industry.
That's just another antitrust probe hitting, this time Microsoft. And that's it for business for now.
Yuka Roye, thank you very much for business.